Welcome students, welcome to this online session of operations research. In this lecture, we are going to study about the decision making under risk. So first of all, we are going to introduce about what is decision making under risk. Then we will look into EMV and EOL, introduce these concepts of expected monetary value and expected opportunity loss. Then also we will introduce a term called expected value of perfect information, and then we will look into the examples of the EVPI or expected value of perfect information. So let's start with the decision making under risk. So when do you have the decision making under risk? Where let's say for example, if you are investing in mutual funds, you will see in the advert that you are deciding under market risk, right? There are cases of market risk is there, and you are deciding based on the market risk. So in this case, the probability is known, but the state of nature of several possible states of nature is not known, right? So two concepts are there: expected monetary value and expected value of perfect information. Expected monetary value or expected opportunity loss, they both, either from both the way, you can get the same answer of expected payoff. And expected value of perfect information. We both look into detail about these three concepts. So what is expected monetary value? It is for the alternatives, different alternatives taken by the company. It is just the sum of, remember this, sum of product of payoff and probability of each state of nature. So let's say for example, you have different states of nature and you know the probability of each state of nature. So what do? That you multiply the payoff and the probabilities, and then you sum them off, add them off, right? So that is nothing but the final value is the expected monetary value. So here the different methodology or different steps are given. We will look into an example so that you can easily understand the EMV of an alternative or the set of alternatives. So how do you calculate the EMV? Based on the method here, different steps are given. First of all, we will construct a payoff table, right, with different alternatives. Different decision making criteria are there. Then we will calculate the EMV of each alternative, each course of action, right? Finally, the best one is the one which has the maximum EMV, right? So these are some of the steps of EMV. Let's look into an example to reflect all these steps which we have seen. A newspaper boy has the following probabilities of selling a sports magazine. So here, just take this as 0.10 instead of 0.0, and there is a printing mistake here. It is 0.10 only, right? For 10 copies, it is 0.10 probability. For 11 copies sold, the probability is 0.50, right, or 15% probability. Now, cost of a copy is 30 rupees, right? And he cannot return the old copies, unsold copies, sorry. And the sale price is 50. So obviously, the profit is 20 rupees. So how many should he order? So let's look into the EMV example. First of all, we will prepare this table, payoff table, we can say. So we have written the probability here and demand here, right? So based on the demand, that stock option is same 10, 11, 12, 13 and 40, right? So if 10 copies are sold and 10 demand is there, copies is there. So the 20 rupees is the profit, right? Here is the 20 rupees profit. So how do you do that? Sorry, here if you see the payoff will be ₹20 here, right? Here 50 rupees. So the conditional profit table is given here, where the demand is given here 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and with the same demand we have the stock options, right? So for one copy, the 20 rupees profit is realized. For 10 copies, it is 10 into 20, so it is 200, right? Now obviously the stock is 10 and you have different demands. So the profit realizes 200, right? In the same way, 11 copies are stocked, but the demand is only 10. So one is unsold, right? So if he cannot return back to the supplier, so he has taken 30 rupees. If you see the cost price here, it is 30 rupees. So he will have a loss of 30 rupees, right? So when 200 minus 30 is 170. In the same way, 11 copies is stocked and 11 copies are sold. So 11 into 20 is 220, and likewise, right? For 12 copies are stocked and 10 copies are demanded, right? So two copies are unsold. For one copy, there is a you can say the loss of 30 rupees. For two, it will be 60 rupees. So 200 minus 60 is 140, and likewise. Clear? So we have prepared this conditional profit table. Now what is our next step? With this payoff, we will multiply the probability to calculate the EMB, right, of individual alternative. After that, we will sum them up to get the alternative each stock option EMB. So how do you do that? So we have multiplied this expected to get the expected profit. So 200 multiplied by 0.10, so we get 20, and likewise. We have prepared a new table of expected profit based on this data, right? Now, what is the next step? You add all of them to get the total expected profit, right? The one which has the maximum total expected profit is, which is this one, which is 12 copies he should stock to get the maximum profit, right, out of all these different options. So in this way, we can solve the problem with the help of expected monetary value. In the case of expected opportunity loss, right, it is definitely alternative, but you will get the same answer, right? What happens is, it is the value of regrets, or you can say the amount by which the maximum possible profit will be reduced under various possible actions. And the course of action which minimize the loss, we will take that course of action. So let's look into an example. How do we do that? Again, we have the up to profit, conditional profit table, the steps are same. But out of that, you prepare the opportunity loss table by subtracting the payoff from the maximum payoff for the event, right? That is how you calculate it. So here, if you see the expected payoff, let's see here. Now here, if you see the expected payoff, the maximum was 60, right? So out of the 60, you will deduct that amount. So let's look into the example so that you can easily understand. Again, the same problem is there. Based on the EOL, we will solve the problem. So conditional loss table we have found out here. 10 copies are stocked and the demand is 11, right? So the loss here is of not selling the one copy with the profit of 20 rupees. So that is 20, right? In the same way, 40, 60 and 80, right? Clear? In the same way, for 11 copies, 12 copies, 13 and 14. What is the next step? We will just multiply this conditional loss with this probability. So that is what we have done here. And finally, we add all this expected loss, you can say. Here it is expected loss, not the profit, right? So finally, we got the expected profit is coming out to be 50, 35, 27.5, 30 and 45. Here, what we will look for, right? It's the minimum amount, which is the 27.5. That is the expected loss. Here, just remember, this is not expected profit, this is expected loss, which is coming out to be 27.5. That is corresponding to 12 copies. In the same way, from expected profit and expected loss, we have got the same answer. Now, what about the expected value of perfect information? Let's say, for example, if the newspaper boy has the perfect information. What do you mean by that? That the demand is exactly 10 copies, right? And he has stock of 10 copies. So what will be the value, expected value of that perfect information? So future demand, he can anticipate easily, right? Let's say, for example, in future, if there are demand of 20 copies, we can easily stock the 20, right? It is like ideal condition, it is not that, but still we can easily solve the problem. Now here the problem is given, the demand is given and the quantity. is given here, and the number of days the demand is given, right, for a dairy farm. Now the company wants to determine the quantity of butter it should produce to meet the demand. The stock level is from 15 to 50 kg, right, and unsold has to be disposed of, so it is a loss for the company. The cost is 80 and selling price is 110, so obviously the profit is 30 rupees. You have to prepare the conditional profit and find out the EMV and then EVPI. So based on that probability and the possible demand, we prepare this table, right, which is the conditional profit table. Clear? What we will do next step, we multiply these two probabilities and the payoff to get the expected payoff, that is the expected profit here. We add them up, so we finally get this value. So out of this the maximum value is 718. So that is our answer here. So expected monetary value is 700, which is corresponding to 30 kilo of stock of butter. Now based on this, if the decision maker has the option of getting the perfect information of 15 to stock or 15 to demand, we have 13.5 as the expected profit. In the same way, 20 of stock and 20 of demand, the expected profit is 40. So we'll extract that information 13.5, 42, 75, 360 means diagonally here like this, right? So we will write these values here and we add them up. So we get the EPPI, that is the expected profit of perfect information, right? Once we deduct the EMV, that is we got 718 from this EPPI 955, we get the expected value of profit information, which is coming out to be 237 rupees. So in this way we can easily calculate the expected value of perfect information. So finally we have come to the conclusion here. We looked into the decision making under risk, three different methods actually: expected monetary value, expected opportunity loss method, and finally expected value of perfect information. Thank you.